day after Valentine's Day. Happy February the 5th. It is February. Happy February the 15th. I'm so excited to be here. We have made it. Thank you so much, guys, for being patient with us. We postponed because yesterday was Heart Day. And guess what? I was hoping that I was hoping. I hope that everybody had an amazing V-Day and was spending it with your loved ones. I figured, I was like, you know what? They're going to be out on the town. You know what I'm saying? Getting ice cream, getting sushi, going ice skating, and you know what I'm saying? Shooting ducks, whatever you guys do. You know what I'm saying? I figured you was going to be doing it. All right, so we have postponed it to tonight, and thank you and shout out to you guys that are joining us tonight on a Wednesday, a little after 8 p.m. You guys know I also said that I was going to start a little bit later too. If you follow me and are subscribed to my YouTube channel, you saw that I did make a post up about this live tonight. Anyway, you guys know we are here to discuss Ready to Love, and tonight we are talking about episode number 6. Yes, we are halfway through, and we'll get into that. As you guys remember, I don't know if you remember, but Tommy did say that they are now officially at the halfway point. Oh my God, P.O. They are officially at the halfway point, and he did mention it. So just to let you know, we're here to talk about it. And in the beginning, I'd like to go ahead and introduce my panel. And then in the end, if you guys missed it in the beginning, we're going to introduce them again too. We're going to extroduce them. How is that a word? Extroduce. We're going to go ahead and start with Tyrone, then P.O., and then Really B.
What's up, everybody? Always a pleasure. I hope y'all did enjoy y'all funky little day yesterday.
Oh.
No, just
why
kidding.
have you funky?
Just kidding. I hope y'all enjoyed y'all Valentine's Day. I wish y'all nothing but happiness and success, whoever did find or has love. It's going to be fun, halfway through the season up here with Really B, P.O., and Sabrina. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
My bad, I was on mute. It's P.O. From season, Potomac season 5, 6, whatever. However you want to mix it up. I hope everybody enjoyed their February 14th. Me, it's just a Tuesday. I mean, it is what it is. But to y'all, love, peace, hair grease, and everything out in them streets.
It's Wednesday, Paul.
No, I know, but February 14th.
Oh, 14th. Oh.
Come on.
My bad.
Yeah. No, it's all good.
Really be out.
Hey, y'all. I hope, I'm going to just ditto all of that. I hope everybody had a great Valentine's Day, Love Day, however you chose to celebrate it. Let's talk about these people and these things.
Yes, we are here for it. Shout out to you guys in the chat. We have 53 of you live. We have only started and begun, and it is 53 of you. If you have not hit that thumbs up button, please do so. Take a moment to do that. Hit the thumbs up button. What does it really be? It's free. What did you say?
It is free 99.
Free 99. Okay.
It is a free way to support the channel. We don't beg y'all for no cash apps, although they appreciate it. But it's a free way to support the channel, y'all.
Absolutely. And shout out to everyone that is in the chat already. I love you guys so much. Shout out to my soulmates, especially my auntie Eva. You guys see that little S after her name that says that she is a bona fide soulmate to my channel. Love you so much. Thank you. And I am so sorry, girl. Ray Day say the panel was supposed to be my date yesterday, girl. I am so sorry. Had I known.
We sorry.
I would have been like, girl, just call me, girl. Just call me, girl. We could have had a FaceTime date together. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, love you so much, guys, in the chat. Keep the chat coming, because you guys know that I do put the chat and some of the comments up on the screen. Sometimes we do discuss them. Sometimes we have castmates from this season and past seasons to come and join us in the chat as well. If they do, make sure you show them a lot of love. Always be respectful respectful in the chat to the panelists and to each other. Please watch the profanity, and we're gonna move forward and get started. Anyway, before we get started, does anyone have anything to say about this season, this episode, just anything in general about Ready to Love Mike number 2?
I was right.
About
Anything
what?
else?
The end.
I knew you was gonna say something.
I
I
mean,
think
I was I was right because I said Andre was coming back. I knew he was coming back.
Mhm.
I
Y'all, both
wouldn't
y'all
say-
was right.
I wouldn't say Paul was right. I would just say Paul was not wrong. I just think
Yeah, I feel
there's
you.
a difference. There's
I
a
feel
difference.
you, man. I feel you, bro.
I
There's
think
just no credit at all.
we're finally
no
starting to
credit.
see that tension with everyone, right? Like Tommy said, we're at the halfway point. People are starting to look for some definitive answers, some definitive feelings before they can move forward. You can see, the cheeks are starting to pucker up a little bit. You know what I mean? Because there ain't no telling who could go home, because it's almost like they all have the same amount of connections. So any one of them could go home at this point. So
Right.
and you can see that too. You can see them moving strategically.
Right.
Yeah.
And for the exception of Blake and Susu, I guess maybe Tony and Morgan. Is anybody really claiming anybody at this point?
Mm-mm.
Nah.
Well,
Nah.
Sue Ann is claiming pretty much Blake. She said,
Yeah,
in this
Blake
episode,
and Susu. They the only ones, right?
yeah, pretty much from what I kind
From
of
what we're
see.
seeing,
Everybody has like multiple connections at this point. Like
So-
nobody's like trying to narrow things down or anything. It seems like they keep adding people because Tony added Jonique. He like, where you come from? He like, oh, I mean, Marcia Morgan, cool, but but we're gonna get into honey, it's a lot.
Well,
I'm so confused. And then I don't even want to talk about it no more because we be chit-chatting like we friends on here, like, girl, and can you believe something? Let's get started. All right.
yeah, I just wanted to say one thing really
Absolutely.
quick. So I feel like this is the part of the season where, and you guys know this, where you're either tired, overwhelmed, or just checked out. And I think, as it goes on, we'll be able to see how many people are truly checked out, because you'll start seeing that attitude, that nastiness, and that drama, that real drama.
Mm.
Right on.
It's so much. I mean, it'd be so much I be wanting to say too, but I just don't say it. Sometimes I say stuff, but sometimes I don't say stuff. Okay, so we start this episode, which is Ready to Love Miami, the second go around. This is episode number 6. It is called Do You Like Me? I don't know why I haven't been saying the names of the episodes, but yes, Do You Like Me? I think I have a couple times. This episode starts with the men meeting in the lounge. Tommy tells them that moving forward, like, it's time for you men to start asking like the hard questions, like I guess to start asking questions too, like, what side of the bed do you sleep on? Like, do you use your small fork? Like, do you use your toilet paper over or under? Like, it's time to ask these questions. You know what I'm saying? He also tells them that later on this week that they will be having a group dinner. So moving forward, the very first scene is Blake sets up a group date with Anthony, Lyndon, Cynthia, Sue Ann, and Mercedes. They are doing an obstacle course. They are having a lot of fun. I wish I was there. LOL.
That looked like so much fun.
Oh my God. Like in my notes right now, it says, I wish I was there. LOL. Like I literally put that in my notes. Anthony,
It looked like they were having a lot of fun.
A lot. Like they wasn't even being filmed. You know what I mean? So I live for it. Oh shoot, where my notes go? Before Suan, lots of fun. LOL. Anthony and Mercedes have a bonding moment. They become vulnerable with each other. Sue Ann and Lyndon sit and talk. Lyndon says that he was happy to have her on the date. Sue replies, especially since it took you a long time to finally use my number. He says, well, now that I'm using it, you ain't messaging me back. She says, well, she be sleep. Lennon sits at the table with Mercedes. Lennon wants to know if Mercedes likes him. She replies, she is getting friend vibes from him, pretty much. That's it. Blake and Sue-Ann sit and talk. Blake says that they have a very strong connection. He doesn't have a wall up with her. He isn't guarded with her. She then sits in his lap and they do share a kiss. She says that she has a whole boyfriend now. Mama I's married. Mama I's married. And he mentions
that was a lie.
Really be. We gonna talk about it. He says that, you know, both of them were going through the journey single, like now they're going into a joint journey together. So that's what I got from it. She claims him like, I got a boyfriend now. And he like, okay, this ain't a single journey no more. This is a joint journey. So, and he's like trying to figure out how we gonna navigate through this. So that was a lot, the very first. First of all, shout out to Mercedes for letting him know, I ain't really feeling you like that. Like, I just only feel like that, you know, like in real life, I just feel like Lennon needs to just go ahead and bow out, because even for real, when Sue-Ann said, like, you ain't really been using my number, he like, well, it don't, you know, he said something about, well, you haven't been messaging me back. But don't you remember Marcia saying that when we was on the beach? I mean, when they was on the beach, I just included myself on the beach too. Like, remember when she was like, yeah, no, really? But then he was like, give me a kiss. And like with Mercedes, he was like, you like me, yes or no? Like he just, I don't know. I just feel like, I feel so bad for him because I feel like he really just does not know how to date. And he's having a hard time navigating through this. But we're going to talk more about Lennon in later episodes. But I'm glad that Blake and Sue-Ann has officially sealed the deal. And I think that they might have actually talked like, I don't really got no connections. You don't really got no connections. Like, we gonna connect or no? Like, let me know so we can dress the same and have matching outfits for the dinner. Like, let me know what we doing. Okay. But anyway, that's my because they sure enough was matching for dinner. But okay. Anybody would like to talk about that scene? It was a lot.
Okay, wait. It was a lot. Are we talking about the Suzanne Blake? I was going to call him Drake. Suzanne Blake, or which part?
We could talk about anything because I literally talked about all of them. So you can just chime in and talk about whatever scene you would like to discuss that you have opinions on.
All right. Well, let's talk about Lyndon just a little bit. I feel like Lyndon's a hunter, right? And so he's like catch and kill, right? And so, yeah, I think that what we're seeing is the part of him that, you know, that's not really trying the ladies out. You know what I mean? Where he's like, you know, what I mean by trying them out is like taking them out, getting to know them, and really, you know, opening up courtsmanship. I think he's just trying to get to the money and see, okay, is it going to be here or no? And if it ain't, then let me just, you know, go elsewhere. I think he just got hunter vibes. It was nice to see Blake, on the other hand, to officiate that situation. And then who was that? Was it Mercedes? Mercedes. Is that who it is? Mercedes? Yeah. And Anthony, it looks like they're trying to force something, but I can't really figure her out. Like, I don't know like where she's leaning towards. And then I don't know where Anthony's leaning or who he's leaning towards. So there's like a whole bunch of gray. The only thing, like you said, is I see Sue-Ann, Blake, and maybe Tony and what's her face? Oh goodness, these people. I keep forgetting everybody's name.
Marcia.
No, not Marcia. What's her name?
Jeffrey.
Morgan. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Morgan. Yeah. So I feel like Tony and Morgan is, kind of shoring up a little bit. But I think Lyndon's in there giving a little bit of trouble. You on mute, Sabrina. The end.
I was just saying, I don't know why I said Jeffrey when you said Tony. Like they don't even.
Well, we didn't hear you anyway. So
okay. Really, B, you were actually getting ready to say something. What were you about to say?
I was just piggybacking on what Paul said, which is kind of what we said in the intro. Like, it's interesting when Paul said, "Hey, I'm still not getting these names. I'm still getting the names mixed up." That's because no one has made an impact. Like at this point, and coming from somebody that reviews the shows, when the shows start off with so many people on the front end, by now you should know who everybody is. You should say, "Oh, that's Mercedes. Oh, that's Cynthia. Oh," and I'm finding myself doing the same thing. They're all blending together. I did the same thing for Friday night's episode. I had to go back to my notes and be like, wait a minute, was that Mercedes or was that Morgan? Oh, wait a minute. And I had to look at my notes because no one, good, bad, or indifferent, right? We remember people on the season for different things. Sometimes it's for the wrong things. Like we know Blake. Whether you like Blake or you don't or not, we know Blake. We know Jeffrey. Whether you like her or you're not, Jeffrey has made a stamp. But a lot of these people are in the middle. Anthony, I think last week was the first time, like we said that on the panel last week, it was the first time we really talked about Anthony. I forgot about the brother. So I think that's part of the problem this season is that so many people are playing the middle and nobody's definitively saying, you're mine, you're mine, you're mine, that we don't really know how to read it.
Mm-hmm. I think people are scared to get eliminated. I think in their heads, they feel like it's too soon. It's too early to make a solid connection with just one person because it's still technically episode number 6. In real life, they do have 6 more episodes to go. So, I mean, we know how it works, but in their heads, they're like, I'm not trying to get eliminated. I'm not trying to like lose my connections and like, yeah, I ain't gonna say anything. We'll talk about it later.
Real quick.
Paul.
No, I was gonna say, so is this a part of the season where like, how like when we did our truth or dare or whatever, is this the part that they're on or what?
I don't think that's come yet.
No, this is right before the Friends dates. I'm thinking.
Nah, but I thought the Friends dates was after the get. Is it before or after the getaway?
No, I mean, they got to take out, they do the couple of group events and then they take out the people that they're not feeling and then they take out their strongest connections. Then they figure it out and then they do the Friends. So this was supposed to be the strongest connections.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I got nothing. Like, yeah. It's a disaster.
I really think that's what the chat keeps saying. There just are no real connections, and I'm kind of with the chat. I don't know if anybody is really connecting with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let me say something here, and this is a problem that I have when you have story writers because they're writing people to sell the show. You have like I said before, every Friday at 8:00 it's the Blake show, right? And we don't need to. I like Blake, but we don't need to see him that much. It should not be centered around him. It should not be centered around Jeffrey. And before Jeffrey, it was Corvea, and everybody else. Who the hell knows? They need to really allow. What am I trying to say? They need to just get right to the meat and potatoes and really say, show those dates that you see people connecting on and quit trying to just sell the show. Show us what's going on for real.
Tyrone?
Yeah. Where do I start? I guess we could start with them individually. Lyndon, I'm happy you brought up his hunting style. Paul, because it's the same thing that we've seen from him in every scene. I know I always make fun of Jeffrey by saying Jeffrey's gonna get a man out of this, but I feel the same way about Lyndon. He gonna get something. You know what I mean? Lyndon is one of those dudes, like you said, he's just the lazy lion. You know, he know that it's gonna be a three-legged antelope out there somewhere, and then when he get hungry, he gonna be like, one of them is gonna like me, so I'm gonna get him. And I just feel like he is one of the dudes that you would want to have on your team, right? Like he gonna talk. I feel like he would even take one for the team. I feel like, at the end of the night, he would be the dude that would rather try to get a number from a 6 than to go home alone. And I may be wrong, but that's just that's just how I feel. You've seen it before, right, Paul?
Right.
When it comes to Blake and Sue-Ann, I feel like they have already had those conversations. I feel like the demographics on the show is so different that when your background matches, do you know what I mean? When you're over 40 with kids or under, early 30s with no kids, I feel like eventually your background demographics are just going to mesh with somebody and you're going to just gravitate to those people. And I feel like with the show, they need to separate that because it's just too many things for them to think about to say no. Like the people that are attracted to each other, one of them have kids and the other one don't, and it's kind of a big obstacle to overcome. What I was interested in seeing was Anthony's connections being in the same place at the same time, just to see how he was going to react to it. So now that we got to see him and Cynthia and Mercedes all in the same place to where he can't run, I wanted to see who he would gravitate towards. And I feel like, for him, I think if he had to choose, it would probably be Mercedes over Cynthia, if he had to choose, because there's nothing not to like about her. That conversation that she had about, the kids and everything, basically saying, I could try, but I feel like I may not be able to give you what you have already been looking at right off the bat. And he's talking about, their conversation is about the future, not about, do you like me or can I get a kiss or can I just, have fun with you? So I like that conversation. I feel like that conversation that Mercedes had should have been the conversation that Mark Anthony had, instead of just being like, yeah, I could date someone with 3 kids, and even when they still talk, it's only the physical that he seems to bring up. Who else? Who else am I missing? Cynthia was, and like you said, Sabrina, it just looked like a really fun date. Like no pressure, wasn't nobody trying to get with nobody until Lyndon started grabbing hands and pulling people away and stuff. And I just feel like it was really fun, pressure free. I didn't really see Cynthia. I didn't see that vibe from Cynthia towards Anthony like she had on that date. Remember, she was saying that boy looked good. We ain't see none of that from her. So, I'm wondering if something changed. I'm wondering if, the ladies talk. There was one thing I wanted to bring up about the men's lounge. And then what I was going to say about that was Tony looked upset in that lounge. I don't know what it was about, but, I definitely caught that. And that's really all I got to say about that date. It was just really, pressure free. Looks like they have fun. I don't know about, spraying water in black women's hair, but I guess.
See,
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
But hey,
I'm reading it.
part of
Oh,
what they
sorry.
do. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, I thought you were
No,
done.
that was
I'm
it.
sorry.
No, I'm done. I am.
Oh. See, I'm reading the chat, and here's what's frustrating me. Not the chat. Y'all are good. But what's frustrating me is that they're putting in the chat that OWN is putting important footage on the OWN channel. And I get it. I get it from a PR perspective. You want us to go engage with the OWN digital. You want us to get these bonus clips and stuff like that. But there's a difference between a bonus clip and a clip that we need for the rest of the show to make sense.
Right.
And what they're saying is they're showing dates, they're showing other interaction that would help us to understand what we're seeing on Friday night. You shouldn't have, in my opinion, you shouldn't have to go 4 or 5 different places to get the whole story. And I get it that I get it that from a PR perspective, you're trying to boost up the YouTube channel. I get that. But they don't do that with their other shows. Because I review a lot of OWN shows. And what they put on the YouTube channel is bonus. You don't need to go to the YouTube channel to understand what you looked at already. You go to the YouTube channel to get, oh, well, let me get a little more. Oh, that was an extended scene. Oh, let me see what happened the rest of that. So if they're showing full dates and stuff that now it's going to make sense, that I have a problem with. Because honestly, as someone who reviews the show, that's why I don't really do a lot of getting into people's social media and all of that. I'll follow people so I can tag them and stuff like that. But I don't really go into people's archives and all of that. Because I want to get to know what you're showing me. I want to know what they're showing me on the show. And if I have to go 5 or 6 different places just for the show to make sense, I'm just gonna stop watching the show because I'm not doing all of that.
Remy B, in my opinion, I think you're getting more than enough from just the show, because if you watch the digital exclusives, it's just gonna make you not like people even more.
Really? Oh, okay. Well,
that part.
Let's be clear, I'm not going to
in real life.
But you know what though? I think Tyrone, obviously I got to disagree with you, not just because you're Tyrone, but because I have to. So I'll say this, like, there are certain things that gets captured, certain moments, and you have these people and you're thinking that, oh, they don't have anything going on, or, you know, the whole world hates them or whatever. And then OWN releases that stuff, and that's not true. So it creates a conflict. And I feel like if you're going to have these, you know, digital exclusives, then at least make an effort to say at the end of these shows or somewhere during the commercial breaks or whatever, check out our channel for our digital exclusives on YouTube or whatever. And it's not there. So everybody's got to go get a magnifying glass and become a detective. And, you know, if you're going to sell the show, you know, sell it in a way that people can unpack it and not just some, you know, jibber jabber stuff. And then, you know, we're sitting here with our own thoughts, you know, in the metaverse with it. It's just dumb.
I got a feeling where you're going with this, because they did show a different. You didn't want to say it, but I know you want to say it. In the digital exclusive, they did show another side of your boy, but you know, we had a feeling that was there. I had mentioned the fact that with the ladies that he's feeling, he's going to be different. So you got to see a little bit of that. But also in the show, you can hear the women talk about him and his other connections. Plural.
And that's what I was saying. And so when you hear that in the background, but every time you turn around, there, you know how they do it. Give me a name until you say the magic name, and then they make it look like you called his name. You know, meanwhile, it's probably totally different in the background. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's a mess how they sit there. And yes, he does have these other connections, but if you look at this show and the way that it is, it seems like everyone hates him but Sue-Ann. And we know that's not true.
Do we?
We do, because the other ladies are saying, well, I know you have these other connections, so where are you at with that? not connection, connections.
Right, but this was a group date. We've seen him date almost everybody.
We
I'm
did.
gonna say
we've
we've
had
seen him on a bunch of dates.
we've seen him date almost everyone.
No, we didn't see him. Okay, so let's just square up real quick. let's just square up. How in the hell did him and Jeffrey become at odds? How did they have a beef over the telephone? When did he get her number? Where did this happen at?
No, I'm just saying. He admitted that they were rocking. That was his words, right? They was
Right,
rocking
exactly.
early, and then something happened. So
Right.
he
So
has
what
the
I'm
ability
saying
to get
is,
the number, make
right.
connections.
But you're
But,
saying,
And they
but
fell
to
off.
be fair,
you're
that happens on every season.
yeah. But
There's
here's what I'm saying.
off-screen stuff that happens on every season.
Right. But Tyrone specifically said that we've seen him date almost everyone, and that's not true, because we obviously they isolated the Jeffrey dates because I didn't see one, and did you? I mean, I didn't see anything.
Who haven't we seen him on screen with? We've seen him on screen with everyone.
We've seen interactions, but we haven't seen dates.
But everything might not have been a date though.
As far as he knew, yeah.
It may have been phone conversations, because again, on every season, except for the exception of the resort where they couldn't go anywhere, there's always that outside communication where they're calling each other on the phone, and we don't get phone calls. So they may very well have had a very strong phone situation. And I'm not saying they didn't go out on a date. They probably did, but it wasn't an official date.
But as far as he knows, it's a date, Paul. Even all the elimination dates, as far as he knows, it's a date. And he still had the opportunity to show up. And he didn't, according to them.
Now we know better than
he
that.
went out on a date with Cynthia. He wasn't feeling Cynthia because he didn't like the fact that Cynthia was trying to tell him what the other ladies were saying. He wasn't feeling what's her name? Jonique, Jaquisha. What's her name? Jonique. I'm sorry, I'm not being forgot her name. He wasn't feeling Jonique. We know him and Jeffrey, whatever they started off, it ain't there no more.
Right.
Have we seen him with Marcia?
We've seen him with Corvea. We've seen him with Corvea. We had. Right. I don't think we've seen him with Marcia. No.
He wasn't feeling Corvea.
No.
We've seen him with Morgan. At the beginning,
that was a conversation. That was
that's the majority of the women right there.
Yeah, we've seen him with Natasha. 70% of the women didn't have anything good to say.
So, listen, I'm going to tell you like this, and then I'm not going to say another word, but I promise you this: there is at least 3 connections that he has right now at this point.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I guarantee you that.
I'm sure.
I guarantee you that in the beginning, Jeffrey was calling his name in the ladies' lounge.
Yeah, that's not what we're saying. We're not saying he don't have connections. What we're saying is 70% of the ladies
didn't have nothing.
Make the math right.
Understood. But if you watch this in its entirety, you would assume, right? He has no connections. And why is he still here? We know that he's going to the end, obviously. We know this.
How
do we know that?
Because every person that he's been on the bottom with was just a little bit worse than him.
Yeah, at some point that's gonna run out.
Right.
And at some point,
he's gonna be at the bottom by himself. It's gonna be Blake against Blake. One of them got to go.
If the Mario hadn't lost his you know what, the Mario might have been saved last week. But the way he acted on that date with Jeffrey, I mean, that just kind of did it for him.
Well, I think he was in checkout mode anyway.
And truth be told, they ain't been sending people home like they should have been. So
facts.
The math is off.
I agree, because ain't no way in the world Marcia is supposed to still be there. Marcia has no business still being here. And that's not in a mean way, but everybody friend zoned her, but they sent Corvea home before her. And even though Corvea actually was making connections.
Yeah, she was. She sure was.
Yeah, I feel like they're I could tell you, um unfortunately, we're gonna see Jonique leave, unfortunately. But I
Yeah,
understand why.
yeah. She
Yeah,
got like
and I
maybe
can
one more
understand.
week.
I can see that. I
No,
can
it's
see
So,
that.
this week.
so real quick, because just because I know, because I don't want to talk about it too soon. I don't want to talk about it. We're gonna wait till we get to.
Okay. I'm ready.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Does anyone have anything else to say about that first scene with Blake setting up the obstacle course date? But and you know what? I wanted to piggyback off of something really B said. I think that because I think you had mentioned something about how she wasn't given the same energy to Anthony. Was it you that said that? I'm not sure. One of y'all said it, that Cynthia wasn't, or Anthony wasn't giving her the same energy, or they weren't giving
No,
it
that
to
was
her.
Tyrone that said that. I
Yeah,
think.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I think that because it seemed like they were more focused on showing Mercedes and Anthony. I think that maybe Anthony and Cynthia did have a moment. We just ain't see it. She really liked Anthony. And I feel like Anthony is really feeling her. And I feel like that was one of the things that was edited out, unfortunately, because I think that the production, the cutting crew, the editing team probably was like, they don't need to see Anthony and
Cynthia again.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
the
it.
viewers know they have a connection, but they don't know about him and Mercedes. So let's show that instead. Because it's, everything is condensed down into a 60-minute episode, and it's from that whole week. So
yeah, it's a good side to show. And I guess we did get our first kiss, right?
Yeah, we did.
Congrats.
Was that a kiss? I mean, okay, yes.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Eyes closed, I guess. Yeah.
It was a peck. It was a peck. Guess what? It was more than what I'd ever did. So
and
hey.
that right
We know
there.
how you feel about the kisses.
Y'all know how I feel, honey. Me and Stacey B will go at it. It was just a kiss. I'm like, that's one too much.
Yeah.
Right.
Speaking of kisses,
I'm with Stacey. It was just a kiss.
I know. I remember what y'all said. I said, I'm gonna just sit quiet.
speaking of kisses, that little point where I was trying to explain about DeMario bringing up the kids, he basically solidified that that's what I was talking about. He was trying to get Jeffrey to understand the importance of kissing. And because she didn't see it that way, he couldn't really think of anything that would get her attention to be like, yo, this is a big deal right here. What would your kids think? Meaning like, this is serious. And because she still didn't, yes, it is a bad idea. But like, I think that was his reasoning for bringing it up.
Yeah, I mean, and it sounds legit that, he was just trying to, put some superpowers on it. But yeah, you say my kids, and it's
don't
like,
even matter what you say.
It's a switch. Like, yeah, like
Right.
You don't know my kids, you don't know me, you don't know blah blah blah. Yeah, it's like turning the light switch on. Yeah. You don't want to do that.
You could be giving them compliments, and then you'll still get the side eye.
Yep.
Yeah. But I think everybody, I mean, to be honest with you, it was a lot of different mixed views about that dang on kiss. You know what I'm saying? Like, people were, it shouldn't have kissed. And some people were like, it was just a kiss, But at the end of the day, regardless of how DeMario perceived it or how he felt about the kiss, like, how he kind of went on her was very distasteful. It kind of like really made me feel a type of way about him. And how he handled himself, like, regardless of the fact if he was trying to just be like, Dad, like, you made a mockery of yourself on national TV or whatever the case, and however he felt. At the end of the day, who am I to say he can't feel the way that he feels and she can't feel the way that she feels? He feels, she feels. But at the end of the day, how he delivered it was very, very classless. In what he said, unfortunately. And I don't really want to I don't like talking about other stuff too much, but I saw his interview that he had on Crystal XO. Shout out to Crystal XO. I saw his interview he had there very, very briefly. I don't want to talk too much about it, but he did explain. So if you guys are interested in why he did what he did, shout out to Crystal XO. You can go over to her channel and you can take a look at that. And I, watched it myself and I just was like, it still made me feel a type of way. You know what I'm saying? So regardless if the kiss happened or not and how I felt about the kiss, how he handled it at the end was just not cool. So,
Yeah.
But anyway.
I agree.
Well, thank you, Really B. All right. So moving forward, because we actually talked about that scene for a really, really long time. All right, moving forward to, does anyone have anything else to say about this scene? No. All right. So the next scene we have Blue and Jeffrey. They do meet on a one-on-one date. Jeffrey wants Blue to come and get her and to be more assertive, like, come get me, like I'm feeling you, but you not, you know what I'm saying? You not showing up for me. So he pulls his chair around and puts it beside her, and he sits beside her, and he does hold her hand, and then they do talk about the ducks. And the ducks ain't had no daddy duck. So she was like, dang, the ducks got to go through it too. The ducks don't even got no daddy. She was like, even the animals ain't got no daddy. He like, no, it's cool though, because that's what make your beak and your wings stronger. And it allows those little ducks to swim harder. You know what I mean? And she says, well, I don't want to be strong no more. Okay, my wings is hurting. Okay, I don't want to do it no more. And Blue responds that he got her back. And go.
So
that's how I took my notes.
Yeah.
On mute.
I like my man Blue. Like, he laid back, he's smooth. But this was like a terrible scene for me. It was just like, all right, let me tell you kind of what you might want to hear. Let me give you some pleasantries. Let me see what I can get out of this. I don't really want to put too much into this stuff. You here, you telling me to call, call on you. Yeah, I see you over there. I'm going to get at you. But, yeah, take these pleasantries with you on the way out the door. Have a good night. That's what I got. I was bored.
Tyrone.
Yeah, I hate to, I gotta agree with you, Paul. Like, Jeffrey gonna get her a man out of this process. She is, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean, she has really been open. She calls it present. She's been present in every moment, every scene that she's in. She's really like open to what the man has to say. Even Fabrice at first, just cackling it up with Fabrice. And the fellas is gonna pick up on that. She is attractive. Blue is attracted to her, but you can see Blue has a little bit of apprehension there as well. And you can see it. And I'm interested to see how this is going to turn out. It was giving that she knows that he likes her. So she just going to kind of like tease it a little bit, meaning like, oh man, I don't even want to say it, but y'all know, ladies, y'all know.
No, say it. We don't know. Okay, we don't think like how you guys think. We're from a different planet. You're gonna have to say it.
Y'all know. I have sisters and cousins, like like if you meet a man and you know how to say just enough to remain respectable, but he would still pay for the dinner and buy you gifts and stuff, but you're still remaining respectable. This is what that was.
So can I just point? I just want to say one thing. I think that Jeffrey is present with a wall, though, right? And I think that the attitude, the spunkiness, is really the wall, because I think if you can break that down just a little bit, then you'll get vulnerability. But her posture coming into these dates starts out with expectation, right? And that's fine. But there has to be a duality of expectation and vulnerability, right? Because what you're expecting, you should be ready to give as well, right? And from what I see, I just see her coming in saying, yo, this is what I want. This is what you got to do. This is how I roll. And if you don't meet me here or do this, I'm not with it, right?
Sabrina with
And
the save me screenshot.
Right.
What? Hold
and
on. What?
so,
I
yeah,
said
so
Sabrina with the save me screenshot.
Save me?
yeah,
I don't understand.
right.
The look on her face,
It's
she
a,
definitely looked like.
I didn't even
it's
look
a,
at the
come
picture.
take
I'm
me,
looking at y'all.
it
My
said,
bad.
come take me away. But
So
yeah, there has to be something, a little bit more vulnerability in there.
right. So my opinion, I guess it may be an unpopular opinion, but I really get tired of hearing women say, "I want you to be more aggressive. I need you to come get me. I need you to come." And I'm just like, I feel like when we do that, we put men in a no-win situation because the same, and maybe not the same women, but the message that we send men is stop being so aggressive. Don't come up, don't push up on me so hard. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Like you can let me know you interested without being aggressive with it. And then we hear, well, you need to come more. You need to be more aggressive. I need you to come and that turns me on. That lets me know that you care. And I just feel like we as women, not individually, but we as women, we send that mixed message because now what is a man supposed to do? Be aggressive, don't be aggressive. Come hard, don't come hard. Let me know you're interested. Let me know you're really interested. I don't know. That's just me. So whenever I hear women say that, I automatically am like, oh, here we go. Oh, he's because that happened again. I don't. They weren't talking about Blue. They were talking about somebody else, maybe Lyndon. I don't know about being aggressive. And I don't know. And again, right, Kenya. But there's a difference between timid and aggressive. Like there's a wide berth between someone who's timid and someone who's aggressive. There's a lot of middle ground in there. But again, I think I don't know. I just think we put men in a no-win situation. But that's just
So
my opinion. I don't know.
yeah, I think Mercedes said it best. Like Mercedes was like, I like you, but these are my reservations. And a lot of the fellas, a lot of basically everyone else is not even saying that part at all. So, in this process, you have to fine tune that, which is really, really difficult. So you can be overly aggressive for one person and get voted off. And then you could just be, playing the background, pretty much what Blue's been doing, and then get called out for that too. Or
Right.
you could take it a step further and be called lazy, like people are calling Lyndon. So it's really, really difficult to try to show. I think for me, at a minimum, you can have a conversation that at a minimum will show intention. Like almost all of Anthony's conversations are about what he wants for his future. Not in the moment. Like it's almost like he's vetting them to be like his daughter's mom. And I'm used to that conversation. So like I get it. Mhm.
Right. And I agree. I agree with what you're saying that. And I also agree. Somebody in the chat said it's a compatibility thing, and I agree with that as well. If you like aggressive men, and Blue has not shown you to be an aggressive man, then he's not your person. You can't put a square in a circle. Like because there's nothing wrong with saying I like an aggressive man, but if a person has, that's everybody has a preference. You know what I mean? But if Blue has shown himself to not be an aggressive person, now you're asking him to do something that's not who he is. You know what I'm saying? And you may think he's attractive. Y'all may have a lot in common. But if you know that that's what gets you going, is a man to be like, girl, come here. All right, it's time to go. Like, if that's your thing, he ain't your person.
Or it could be where he really doesn't know. It could be where he like, I'm trying to be respectful. Because in real life, he might be a really aggressive, like, come here, girl. You know what I'm saying? He really might be that guy. But we don't know that because he like, I'm on TV. I got 12, 13 cameras in my face. I don't know if she really like me. Do I hold her hand? Do I not? Do I sit beside her? Should I tell her I like her? I'm not sure. So, you know, we just don't know. But from what we see, like, I get it. But hopefully now he can start being more aggressive. I get what y'all are saying because I haven't really seen it from him towards anybody. But in real life, they haven't really shown Blue that much either. So
yeah, it also makes me understand his apprehension because she mentions being aggressive. So in his mind, he could be thinking, you know, what is the attraction? Is it to the aggression as the person or just to aggression in general? So if someone else was aggressive tomorrow, you know, would you go for that person? Because she pretty much said, where there's smoke, that's where I'm gonna go. So he could be thinking, nah, I could be aggressive, but then what? Like, does she like me because of me being aggressive, or does she like me because I was just being aggressive? You know, so it wasn't really clear. You know, do you want me specifically to be more aggressive or just anyone to be aggressive? So, and I could see that.
I
Or
think
he
she
may end up
said to him.
right, but I feel like she's saying it so it would help her decide who to go after because they're all doing it. Like they're all saying, I need this person to be a little bit more aggressive. Like even Tony is saying it because for some reason,
True.
and it happens almost every season. Like nobody wants to be vulnerable and say I like you until the other person says it. You know, that's why we got 11 episodes of Paul because he wouldn't, you know, he wouldn't say it, and I was just waiting for him to say it. Like Paul, let her know you like her. So no one.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Paul could have been in love and he would have been like, no, man, you know what I'm saying?
Paul had connections, y'all.
Oh
Paul
my
had them.
Yeah, he did. Really, B, you have anything else on this episode? I mean, this scene?
Nah. It ain't really
Yes,
do a
he
lot
did
for me.
have connections, by the way.
Paul, do you have anything else on this scene?
Nah, I'm good.
With Jeffrey and Blue. All right. So moving forward, the next scene, we have Lyndon meets with Morgan. He says since he was friend zoned by Mercedes, he had to clarify with Morgan where he stands with her. They discuss past relationships. Morgan says that she likes talking to Lyndon. She says that she can be transparent with him, not pretty much with her other connections, though. And Lyndon mentions, oh, you mean Tony the Tiger. She says the other ladies are not open, or he says the other ladies are not opening up to him as she is with him. They talk about the sleeping arrangements, who sleep on the left side, who sleep on the right side. He sleep cat corner. And Morgan says that Lyndon is still one of her connections by the end of this date, one of her strong connections. Lyndon and Morgan.
I just want to know where the rest of Lyndon's shorts were.
He about to teach a hoochie daddy. I mean, yeah, hoochie daddy class.
Listen, I was like, how is he? Lyndon, listen. One thing I'm gonna say about Lyndon is that he is consistent. His dress is always very. I rolled over and put this on. Like it's like even the first mixer, he had on like a Hawaiian shirt and like some jeans shorts. I was like, what are you doing, bruh? But that's who he is because he is consistent with it. But I mean, I don't know. This date didn't really do a whole lot for me either. Honestly, I don't know.
Well, I think that date was telling. But to talk about his clothes or whatever, they approved that stuff. So you have to actually send them shots of what you're wearing before you even go. So that's the person that
No,
they
it was
want you to
nothing
be.
wrong with it was nothing
No, I
wrong
know.
like aesthetically. I'm just saying again, if you're trying to impress people,
Right.
yeah.
Can you imagine Lyndon the night before taking a picture with the jean jacket and these hoochie daddy
Right.
shorts, being like, I'm gonna rock this on the
Yeah,
date tomorrow.
like this what that's what I'm saying. Like he woke up and was like, "Yup, that's it."
Listen,
I go
I
ahead,
think
Paul.
I think that Lyndon is one of Morgan's connections solely so that she keeps Tony in check. Because you got to remember, she I think what was it, the sexiest man or whatever on the show, and it was Lyndon.
Lyndon.
Right, and that received a knee jerk kind of from Tony, and Tony wasn't feeling that, and she kind of gave him that look like, well, So I think that Lyndon is probably collateral damage, right? But Lyndon's like, hey, you know what? You feeling me? I'm here. I'm a rock with it. So, but I don't really see where Lyndon and what's her face were connecting on that date. I didn't see that.
You talking about Lyndon and Morgan?
Lyndon and Morgan. I didn't see any like romantic, like anything that's gonna say, oh yeah, I'm here for this, and I like you, and nah. It's just like, well, I like you. Oh, I like you too. Well, this could work. Yeah, it might.
She's doing
Let's figure it out.
Doing just enough to
Right.
get that extra vote.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean this in the nicest way, like no disrespect, but I feel like Morgan is Lyndon's three-legged antelope. The one that he doesn't have to try for, the one that already likes him. You can see his demeanor is very different, laid back. He not asking no questions about, how you feel about me or do you like me, because he already knows, and we've seen it in previous seasons where, the woman will literally say, I like it when two men are fighting over me. And I think this is just another one of those situations. She had mentioned that, I think it was Morgan that mentioned in the confessional about her liking the aggressive man and wanting Tony to be more aggressive and wanting more aggression. So this is what we're getting. And again, this is what we see a lot from Lyndon. Just the what's the word I'm looking for? Intentionality is just not there. Like,
Yeah, like this date is like mad standoffish. Like, okay, I'm over here, you're over there. Let's not establish intimacy here. Let's just be cordial and see what we got.
She did tell him like 14 times how sexy and how good he looked. Not sexy, but how good he looked. So she said, who was it that said that? She said he was the sexiest man there. So I don't know, maybe the physical attraction is there, but she really just don't see no substance. So physically, she's really, because I don't remember her telling Tony that, like, as much as she says it about Lyndon, I don't remember ever hearing her talk like that to Tony. So, but maybe Lyndon is really her type, but he ain't, you know what I mean? Like physically. But everything else, he kind of maybe falls short for her.
Right. What is she? Is she a lawyer?
I don't remember what Morgan is.
I don't think so.
I think she's an interior designer. I think.
Oh, okay.
Maybe so.
I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Come on, chat. Y'all know what she does for a living. Let us know.
I could go and find out, but I'm not trying to go through all them pictures and stuff.
Oh, interior designer.
Okay, it was interior designer. Okay.
I was about to say, I know Tyrone got it. Interior designer. Okay, good. Yep. All right. Anybody have I didn't really have much to say about Lyndon and Morgan. I feel like it's just something that's forced. It's one of them scenes that had to fill in a spot. I don't know. They should have used the thing with
the date that they put on the digital.
Yeah.
They could have put that on the digital.
That's why I was like, never mind, I wasn't gonna bring it up, but yes. All right. Does any I'm gonna put myself on mute in the middle of me talking. Does anybody have anything else to say about Morgan and Lyndon? No? Okay, moving on. The next scene we have Tony, and he is meeting. Well, actually, the next scene they was actually together. They were playing them together. Tony and Marcia meet up for a one-on-one. Marcia says that she has shared more time with Tony than anybody else. He tells her that, or he tells her who his connections are. He says, "You're my connection and Morgan is my connection." He tells Marcia that Morgan is actually very more aggressive than she is. Marcia said that she wants to be more intentional. And she says that, excuse me. Hold on, girls. Excuse me. He says that it will be a hard decision between picking either one of the women in the end. Cat got my breath. Is that what it is when you can't, like you couldn't breathe or talk for a second? But anyway, so we have Jonique. Did I say Jonique? Oh, I'm sorry, Marcia and Tony. Any thoughts on their date?
Yeah. So I'll say this. Well, first off, let me just give a blanket statement. Tony, nothing personal, my brother. Like in this setting, I don't trust you. Now, I'm obviously, I'm not defining who you are as a person, but in this particular setting, I have zero trust for you because you're too smooth. You're too easy breezy. Like you just getting along just way too good. So it's like the shark attack. I'm waiting, to see when the shark's gonna bite. I think that Tony wants to keep establishing connections to stay in the game. He's probably leaving every night like, yeah, no, I ain't going nowhere. Look at that. He got that look on his face right now. I ain't going nowhere. I'm good.
I have to say I agree with PO on this one. But I felt that way about Tony from the beginning. It's something even like that scene with him and Morgan, the scene the date they went on last week, I think it was, when they were like at a restaurant, they were like out by the water. It's something about him that it comes off. Again, it's not personal because I don't know you, but it's something about him that just don't sit right with me. He like the kind of dude you meet at the club and y'all date for 6 months and it's all good, and then all of a sudden some woman show up at your front door with 3 kids and be like, he married, and you be trying to figure out how did he do that for 6 months, because we were together every day and he called me all the time. You know what I mean? Like he comes up as that guy. Yeah. And I don't, again, it's not personal because I don't know you, but it's something about him. It's something about him. I'm with you on this one, Paul. I'm with you on this one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tyrone?
Yeah. I feel like in every person's journey, eventually you're going to have to make a final decision on someone. And I was watching him, during this date, and it was totally different than their previous dates. When they was praying at the table together and everything, and Marcia was talking about how much she really likes it here in the confessionals. And it seemed like Tony was looking at her as if he needed to make a decision about her in his mind and in his heart. And because she asked him, it just, made him say it out loud, and once you say it out loud and your brain hears it, then you start to move towards that way. So, sadly, I feel like this date ended up being, the beginning of the end for Marcia. I also felt like Marcia felt it too. But I think sadly, I think Tony is gonna end up messing up a good thing. You know, I feel like he's gonna mess up a good thing. Chasing after Morgan, and him and Morgan playing these games with each other, and they're gonna end up single. I feel like he does have a good thing sitting right across from him. He felt that from the first date, and he should have went with it. But I feel like he's not.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got. I really had forgot about the date, honestly. I had forgot all about it.
Y'all know, I said it from the beginning. There's something about him. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But
I don't trust. I don't trust you, bro.
Yeah.
Like I want to trust you so bad, bro, but I just can't because you just getting along too good, too easy.
Like, go ahead, Tyrone.
How many times do we gotta hear him say, "She need to show me more. She need to show me more. She need to show me more"? He says that about Morgan too. I need to see more. I need to see more. Like he's the prize.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So Tony, when this is all done, brother, as I write my book, I need you to give me the words that you saying to these ladies, so I can put it in that chapter.
Yeah. All right, real quick, guys. Thank you, Kiki. We have 184 of you watching us right now. Shout out to you guys in the chat. If you have not hit that thumbs up button, I have 69 thumbs up. We got 186 in the chat. So if we could take a pause for the calls for you guys to go and hit that thumbs up. If you are enjoying the show, I would so greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support. You guys know without you, there is no us. And of course the show. Right. Hold on. Auntie Eva said, you know something, Sabrina? I don't know. Tell me. Tell me. Someone says, I don't think Marcia has kids. Yes, it is free to hit that thumbs up.
Free 99, y'all. It is free 99.
Free 99.
Always looking for a sale. It is free 99.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, guys. I got 84 thumbs up. Thank you so much. Y'all are amazing. But what was I going to say?
Hold on. How many people in this chat?
It's 188 in the chat right now.
Okay, we at least got to get over 100 likes, y'all. If y'all could do me a favor, please, I know you meant to when you came in, but if you didn't, just go ahead and hit that like button. Y'all know if you don't get your notifications, the like button helps the notifications push her notifications out and pushes the video up so more and more people can find us. So please hit that like button. Is that a middle finger?
Yeah. The like button.
I don't think so. I think they're just pointing out.
Oh, okay. I was
like,
listen, the like button is free of charge.
Kiki is a moderator. And shout out to my moderators. Yeah, and shout out to my moderators. Love you guys so much. We got Mimi in the chat. We got SJ in the chat. We got D Brown, Auntie Eva in the chat. We got Kiki, Valencia, Kenya from Cali. Yeah. We got the moderators in the chat, and they are here. We have April Gaines. Everybody know who April Gaines is. That is P.O.'s sister. Shout out to you guys for keeping the chat live as well, and the support, and reminding everybody to click that thumbs up. But thank you. Wow, it's at 98 thumbs. Thank you. Likes. I appreciate you. But yeah, so it's something about Tony. I'm not sure exactly what it is. I said it. I think I say it like every episode. He reminds me of like when I used to be like from the very first episode with Samson. I was like, it's something about Samson. But I hate to say, not that I hate to say it. I'm just gonna say it because I don't hate to say it, but I think P.O. said it like. I feel like in real life that Tony, y'all are going to eat me up. But I kind of feel like he kind of genuine because he did say we haven't gotten to that part yet, but he did say like he came on the show to look for his wife. Like, and I honestly Oh God, see, here we go, Tyrone. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And I honestly really feel like he might have used to have been a player. You know what I'm saying? And that's the vibe that we getting, like smooth operator Tony. Those are the vibes that we getting. But it's making me feel like it's something about him that I think he really is like being genuine. Like I'm getting that. And I'm really feeling like, dang, like I really want him to find love. That's how I'm feeling. Y'all can hit me up in the comments.
Yeah, Tony is he's the proceed with caution person. You know, like watch his ass and then see what happens.
Yeah. So I do agree with you, Sabrina, but it's the reasoning behind why he's ready and why he said he was ready. And it's because he said he done did everything else. So pretty much, you know, he's doing it because he's feeling like he's running out of time. You know, and it's not like he genuinely wants to have a woman. It's because he said what did he say? He done everything else. Something about he running out of time or whatever. So now it's time for me to find someone. You know, and as a guy, I personally don't think that, you know, those are the reasons to be what's the word I'm looking for? Intentional. Because you're at your last straw. Might as well.
No, like I feel like you only run out of time when you're dying. You know what I'm saying?
Dang, y'all think he dying?
No. I'm not saying that.
These are the opinions and views of our own. We are not attached to Oprah Winfrey Network or Will Packard and Lighthearted Production.
No, I'm saying this.
Everything is alleged.
No, I'm not saying he's on his way out. No, I'm saying like I meant that in the way of, you know, everything is possible. You don't have to be at your last straw. You know, it's only too late when it's too late, when you're on your way out, is what I'm saying. Not, oh yeah, he got this ulcer on his toe and he about to check out. You know, nah.
So what Dollface Couture says, when a man says it's a red flag, the flag is flagging. I knew y'all was gonna eat me up in the comments. Y'all see I'm putting them up here. Oh God. I'm talking about the show, but let's keep it 100. In real life, I don't be ignoring them red flags. I be like, is that yellow? That's a green flag? It's close to red. I'm good. In real life, you know, it's a little bit different. Oh, shoot. If it ain't white, I don't want no parts of it. Is he waving a purple flag? Oh, no, I'm good. That's my
Thanks.
Oh, my God. All right, guys. Are we done with this scene?
I'm done with it.
All right. Tyrone, really be
done.
Yeah.
Oh my God, brought tears to my eyes. All right, so we have Jonique, Jeffrey, Mark Anthony, and Tony meet for a group date. Jonique talks about, you know what? Let me do this real quick because I like it when I do this and put the pictures up and then I talk about it instead of talking about it and then put the pictures up. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna do it real quick. Okay, now I feel better. Jonique, Jeffrey, Mark Anthony, Tony meet for a group date. Jonique talks about where she is at in the process. Jeffrey discusses how she didn't. Let me put my glasses on. I'm sorry, guys. How she didn't want to date a man with kids and then started to talk about her journey as a single mom. Tony came into the process with the intentions on finding a wife. Jonique also talks about how she wants an alpha male, one who can lead, etc. And she does get into more detail about that. I ain't put it all on here, though. Tony says that she wants everything in a relationship that he wants, and things have now changed for him. Jonique is interested in getting to know more about Tony, but there is nothing there with her and Mark Anthony. Mark Anthony also confirms that there is nothing there with him and Jonique. Tony says that he has been missing something, and Jonique responds that, yep, he has. Because remember, they walk away. I don't know why I said it like that, but they was walking away, and Tony was like, I've been missing something. And Jonique was like, yep, you have been. So it seems like that they really, really hit it off. It seems like that Tony really is feeling Jonique at this dinner. And I'm glad. I'm glad because I really, 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 really like Jonique. And I'm just going to put it out there. I don't think I've ever really had a chance to say that, but I think she is grounded. I think she's level-headed. I think she is well-spoken. I think she is beautiful. I think Jonique got it going on. And it's so unfortunate that the men really can't see her for like who she is. Like I see her, I think she is a great catch, but they don't really see her. And I hope that Tony really does see her, and maybe they really can, become something. You never know. She wants the same thing he wants. He want a whole wife, and she looking for a husband. So I think it, what I'm saying, it could work out fine. They both, yeah. Okay, that's it for me.
Yeah, so let me say this about Jonique. Jonique is very, very emotionally aware. She's young, and I was shocked, by how aware she is of what she wants, who she is as a person, and what her expectations is and what she can bring to the table. I like that. It's unfortunate that I think her age is playing a role against her, right? Because these guys are older, like Blake and the other cats. They're looking at her and they're probably saying, "Well, you don't have the experience," or you're not there yet. And they're not really picking up on, the I guess the tokens that she's been dropping on them. You know what I mean, from throughout the whole process. And that's very unfortunate for her. But when it comes to Tony and Jonique, I don't buy it. Um, I think that, this is like, oh, this is another one I could, it's going to keep me in the game. All right, well, I'll see what's up with this one. And, she, because Tony has a lot of those ladies riding for him. So as they say, safety in numbers. He's getting his numbers up. His numbers is on point. So he's going to be there. Like, his name isn't going to get called in that room for quite some time, if ever, right? I think the only time Tony's name is going to come up is whenever the shark bites, and I'm still waiting on that moment. I will be shocked if he is smooth Tony and there's no ripples or no wrinkles throughout the rest of this process. We don't find anything out. I'll be shocked, and then I'll have to eat all my words, which I don't have a problem doing. But I don't think that that was happening for them. Now, Mark Anthony, obviously, he's like, nope, you don't have what I need over here, right? And I feel like Mark Anthony is immature, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I just think that he's not mature enough to get what you would be looking to get out of a process like this. I think it's just like, okay, bucket list, check, and then that's that. So, yeah, there you have it.
I want to know what happened. Now, this is a scene that I'm interested in seeing the uncut version because something deeper had to happen because Mark Anthony wasn't feeling Jonique and Jonique was not feeling him. And it wasn't just that one little moment where she was saying her little spiel about what she was looking for and all of that, but he was totally turned off by her. And the feeling was mutual. And I'm like, what did we not see? Because I feel like that went deeper. I'm just wondering. I mean, am I the only one that felt that way?
No. I feel like Jonique is used to men overlooking her. And I think she just probably got comfortable with that. I think she's always had the ability to see through the men really, really quickly. I feel like she got that Claire Huxtable style of like cussing you out, but respectfully, and reading you respectfully.
Mhm.
I like Jonique. I think the men are really missing out. I could see why Tony is a little bit confused because there is a lot to like about Jonique. And with him sitting across the table from her, he's probably like, damn, like I could work with, like, this is something I can work with. I really want her to get some more scenes with dudes that are feeling her. I do agree with what you were saying about Mark Anthony, Paul. Like, I do feel like, he's there to bag something. Not really there,
Yeah.
Who you talking about, Tony?
Mark Anthony.
Mark Anthony.
Oh.
Yeah. And you can tell by Jonique's confessionals, like, she stays professional, but she's telling you what it is. This is the truth. He wasn't feeling me. I wasn't feeling him. I'm not going to fret about it. I'm just going to move on. And she's been like
Right.
that, consistently. So I like her. I want her to get some more scenes. I want to see, a side of her where she's actually happy for once and not coming in late or not crying on a date. I want to see that for her.
And unfortunately, she's not going to be ready to love on Friday. That's the bad part.
We not there yet.
Paul speaking in absolutes.
Right, we not there yet because I got some questions for you when we do get there. Well, I like Jonique and I agree, Tyrone. I hope that they do. I mean, because it's cool for us to talk about it now, but it's already been recorded, it's already been filmed, it's been edited, and we gonna just see it. So hopefully that they have filmed it and they will show us in future episodes more of Jonique. So shout out to Jonique. We love you. And we hope to see more of you. Child, ain't no spoiler alert. It's just his delivery. Well, we're gonna talk about it later. I said something earlier and somebody was like, say it, Sabrina. I was like, nope, but we're gonna talk about it later. We just haven't gotten to it yet with that scene in the show. So I don't like to jump all ahead because then we'd be all over the place and I don't want us to be talking about things 2-3 times. All right, so does anyone have anything else to say about the scene with the group date with them? Because ain't nobody saying nothing about Jeffrey and Mark Anthony. Ain't nobody got nothing to say about her.
Well, we already know
Yeah.
Mark Anthony is not entertaining the kid situation. We know that.
Well, he entertaining Jeffrey, though.
But he is entertaining Jeffrey.
That's
right.
Because his thing is, look, I might not be the the stepdaddy, you know what I'm saying, but I could definitely, whenever you know what I mean,
be the pool boy.
You know what I mean?
Be the pool boy.
Yeah, whenever you free and you up late, call me.
I'm not really. I feel the same way about Jeffrey as I feel about Tony. I just don't trust her. Something about her, I just can't put my finger on. I don't think, even though I'm not the biggest Blake fan, I don't think Blake is lying, or at least not totally lying.
Mm-hmm.
Between Blake and Jeffrey, honestly, I'm leaning towards Blake. I feel like Jeffrey has a personal beef with Blake. That scene last week where she was picking on his vision board, and I was like, girl, what is wrong with you? I just feel like there's more to that Blake Jeffrey situation that we aren't, like, going back to what Paul said earlier, that we're just not privy to. So I don't know. When it comes to Jeffrey, I'm just side-eyeing. I'm waiting and seeing. I'm waiting to see.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see if you pull them pictures up. But it does come up in the end. I had something to say about that. But I don't think it's Blake anymore. I think it's actually Sue-Ann that she's trying to get at. Yeah.
You think Jeffrey is?
I think something.
That makes sense.
I think something must have happened between the two ladies, because a lot of the things that they were saying today just made me think. Because they were talking about, multiple people have mentioned how Sue-Ann comes across as if she's better than everyone else. And I could see Sue-Ann like throwing some shade at Jeffrey because their professions are like total opposite, right? So I could see why they would have some conflict.
I mean, you might be right. You might be. I think that Jeffrey really liked it, Blake, and they was on the telephone, and Blake was like, yeah, being Blake, and he wasn't Blaking like how Jeffrey wanted him to Blake, and she got an attitude, and he like, well, all right then, what I do? And she like, oh, that's how you're gonna carry it? I got something for you. Okay. Like I feel like it was a whole showdown with them because the way she was picking at him, people pick like that with people that like people that like them. It's just like in school, like boys pulling little girls' hair. You know what I'm saying? Being mean, but in real life they like them. That's how I feel like with Jeffrey. I feel like Jeffrey really, really likes Blake. And Blake wasn't feeling her like that. I think he was, but something shifted and something changed. And she probably was like, well, I have a whole bunch of connections and you're going to be one of my connections. And he was probably like, you're not going to tell me what to do. And she's like, no, I am going to tell you what to do. And you're going to do what I want you to do. And he like, what? You not going? No, this is my journey. I'm going to do what I want to do on my journey. And this is how I'm going to do it. And Jeffrey was like, well, if that's how you're going to act, because I have other connections and I don't need you. And he probably was like, deuces then. And she probably was like, fine. And I'm going to make sure you and Sue-Ann get voted off. And he was like, I'm about to let Sue-Ann know. And that's why we're going to dress alike and we're going to be together. I could be wrong.
I think you're close.
Let me hurry up and get back to. All right, guys. I'm sorry because I'm having issues now. I gotta use my glasses. So next scene, we do have our group date. Morgan talks with Lyndon. He tells her that it's hard to make a connection because she stands out. He can't see nobody but her. Okay? That's why he has this connection with Morgan. That's why. Tony says that Morgan is over there buttering Lyndon up, buttering them buns. He says, I don't know why he's going to sit. She's talking to him because while I'm here, he does not have a chance. I am in the picture and he is the frame. Okay. Sue-Ann and Anthony talk. Sue-Ann says that she feels that her and Anthony have a connection, but he hasn't communicated that to her. Maybe because he don't have a connection with her for real. She says that his energy is different than when it was on the boat ride that night. And they do pan back to the boat ride. Anthony says that he is trying to figure out who he is connecting with like the most and like what's next, what's going on with him, like what he needs to do. And Sue-Ann is triggered and frustrated by Anthony. Group dinner.
Girl, wasn't you just kissing somebody? Like
I thought she had a boyfriend.
Deuces, right.
Did she say that? Did she say she had a boyfriend? She had a boyfriend.
I'm gonna give Anthony a pass. He clearly had too much to drink here. So, and you can see it. You know what I mean. So, Anthony, I'm not gonna hold that against you, but I think he was trying his best to respectfully say, "You ain't the one." You know. And that's not an easy thing to do. One, if you've never really done it, or if you're not a professional at saying, I don't like you. It's not easy. And especially when he's just confronted the way he was and just to, still have to be nice and cordial and say something respectable that's not going to get him voted off. That's not easy. That's not easy.
Mm-hmm. Really
and Lyndon told on himself too, when he even said, I ain't even intend to speak to Morgan. It just happened to end up being that way.
Mm-hmm.
So not my words, his words, right?
He said, but when they're in the room together, they gravitate towards each other. That's the point that he was trying to make. But on top of the fact that he didn't really have no other connections, he kind of said it in the same breath as well. Well, I've been friend zoned by Mercedes. Ain't nobody really left. So I guess I'm going to gravitate over here towards Morgan. That's what it seemed like to me.
So I love the fact that that he got friend zone. Well, not that he got friend zone. I love the fact that they closed out that date. You know, the producers probably said, "We know you guys aren't jiving. Show the people so that they can move on or whatever." And I wish they just started doing that for everybody. But yeah, I like the fact that his hand is kind of exposed a little bit. You kind of know his direction, if you will. And it seems like they're trying to chop that down so that people can at least have an idea of what connections is what. I don't know. Like as far as the Sue Ann Andre thing, or Andre, God, Anthony, Sue Ann Anthony. And I've been drinking water, so I don't know. So yeah, but as far as them two, I got nothing from that. I mean, I knew it was going to be a no for him, and that was cool. After we saw what Blake went through, claiming her and all of that stuff, I don't think she really had. I don't really think that she wanted to put too much of a stake in claiming Anthony or whatever. Again, I think that this was a conversation that was had, and the producer said, "Close this out." So that these people can kind of know what direction you guys are going in.
Yeah, because I'm sure he was like, Sue Ann, cut it out. I was on the date with you when you kissed Blake.
Right.
We know that there's nothing here between us, but I'll go through with it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because I know we connecting. He just ain't say it yet.
Girl.
Right. Yeah, he let her know. He said something about, I'm just trying to figure out, what place everybody gonna fall in or something like that.
Mm-hmm, right. Mm-hmm. He sure did. Does anybody have anything else to say about those scenes? Because after that, Tommy does enter the room.
Come on in, Tommy. Come on in.
All right. So Tommy enters. He tells them that he wants to make sure that they are not bringing their representative to this journey. And that's why he wanted to do this dinner for everybody. Also, Andre is all better. Andre is the one with the curl in the front. Andre is all better. He is no longer sickly, and he wants to come back to the process. So Tommy goes around the room, asks everybody, like, how do you feel about it? And let me tell you, Jeffrey did not seem excited, not nail one time, not a little bit, not over there, over here, up there, nothing. She showed absolutely no excitement. She looked like she was actually pretty disgusted. Tommy tells them that the dinner is the halfway point for them in this journey, and two singles will be ending their journey that night. One woman and one man will be going home. Excuse me. So I'm gonna just go ahead and say this part too, so we can, So the singles do go around the room and discuss their strongest and their weakest connection. Jeffrey discloses the issue with her and Blake and Sue. And Sue would like for her to leave her name out of her mouth. Blake denies, and denies. Okay. Sue Ann says that she is at the adult table and she would really appreciate it if Jeffrey go over there and stay with the kids section and stop calling her name.
Before we get there, shout out to Blue for being aggressive, because I did see him catch a whole lot of cheeks when he said hello to Jeffrey. So shout out to him. A couple things. I think the audio was off.
Oh yeah,
because nobody really nobody really talks like that. Nobody really says, you know, don't say my name like 5 straight times, sweetheart, or whatever she said. Like nobody really talks like that,
I think
which
she
makes,
might have.
but it also makes me feel like the cutaways are off.
Way off.
I think the faces that Jeffrey was making wasn't for Andre. I think they were for Suanne, but they just kind of threw them in for the Andre bit because she was actually smiling when Andre came in.
Yeah, but the
So-
guys weren't really feeling Andre coming back in.
Blue ain't. The other guys don't really care, I don't think. But I think Jeffrey had the bubble guts face because of the convo with Suanne and Blake. Like she really looked like she needed to go too.
Yeah, but that conversation happened after Andre came back.
From what we saw, but they're still in the same room. You know?
I get it.
They're still in the same room, in the same seats.
Yep.
But I think the faces were for Suanne and Blake, not for Andre.
Which would be the reason why they have the assigned seats that they have, so that they can get those reactionary shots. Because we know, you know, that they didn't, you know, just say, "Hey, let's fall down right here."
Yeah.
So that's number one. But to piggyback, I'm sorry.
Go back to the other picture. Go back to the other picture, Sabrina. I want to bring up something. Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say I was looking at that seating as well because it was reminiscent of the seating that they give you for the reunion, where they actually are trying to tell us something by the way that they sit in them. And they had that empty seat there the whole time. The funny thing is that when Andre came in, he actually put that chair on the other side of Anthony. And I thought that was weird. When he could have just sat down, but he didn't just sit down behind Cynthia. He actually moved the chair and then patted
Blake.
He patted Blake on the shoulder.
Right. So, yeah. So I'll say this. Well, one thing that I didn't like to see from Blake is that, you know, you came in off of COVID. I get it. You know what I mean? You know, COVID's rough headed, but you don't get the hero's welcome because you showed up. Like, you still got to get in the game and, you know, reestablish, you know, your connections and things like that. So he put the energy on other people because he knew he was coming back when he left. He knew this. And he's telling other people, well, you didn't call and check on me or whatever. And like, none of these people have an obligation to you, right? And it's so early in the game that, you know, you shouldn't be looking at somebody to sort of coddle you and, you know, take care of you like, you know, like you would do your child. You know, hey, you're a grown man. You show back up, fine. You know, you was gone. Well, we thought you was old. We thought you was out. Like, nobody's going to sit up there and you can't have that expectation of them to do that. So I wasn't really feeling that part. But then the Jeffrey and Suanne and Blake thing, the whole confrontation situation. Are we on that? Are we talking? We talking about that or no?
Yep. It's
Okay.
All that is whole.
So I'd like for you guys to really think about the cutaways, like Tyrone was saying. The audio was mad off when Jeffrey would say something and then Blake would say something. They isolated the substance to that issue, and then they put a cutaway in there for Lyndon to make it look like he's saying, yeah, I think Jeffrey was being honest or whatever. Like, it was a whole bunch of BS stuff getting thrown in there, you know, just to change the narrative. Because again, like Jeffrey wouldn't say what it was, or I'm sorry, you didn't hear what Jeffrey said it was, and Blake never straightforward came out and said, yo, this is the issue. Not saying that he didn't say that, but we never got a chance to hear that. And you can see every time he gets ready to go into it, they cut away. and then when Jeffrey says something, they cut away, and it's like, come on, man, just tell us what it was. But it's that controversy that they're trying to carry over. Of okay, are you, they want you to think of the, who's telling the truth, who's not. That's all the same thing. You guys remember the brunch, the Kia, Carmen, same situation.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna get more next week because they were cutting off, like they were literally cutting off part of their sentences, and it didn't make a lot of sense
At all.
So yeah, that's funny.
I don't think I paid that much attention because I think I just don't care anymore. Like I'm over, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'm over the Blake, Jeffrey, Suzanne. Like I don't care. You know, like, okay, there are how many other people in this process? Y'all don't have to be. I mean, I know they do, but like we just don't have to engage. We don't have to argue every time we're in the ladies' lounge. We don't have to. Okay, so now we're in a group setting and it has to come up again. Like I'm just like I didn't pay that much attention. So I didn't pay attention to the cutaways and because I didn't care. I was just ready for that to be over. Like
I feel you. I feel like Jeffrey was ready to discuss it, and then again, since it didn't come up, she was like, "All right, since you're just gonna lie, all right, there's nothing to even talk about."
Right.
So,
but it makes her look like, oh, she could be lying. But
Blake wasn't specific. Right. He just said, "I didn't say it," or "That didn't happen."
Right. But we missed the meat in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
We need more clarity. Right. I think when it comes to Andre, confronting Mercedes, I think he was just more, getting on her on a personal level, not as a potential dater. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping he was like, girl, like you could have at least reached out to me. I'm could have been on the brink of death.
But
you're the only person I haven't heard from.
But why does
as a human,
Yeah, but I think no, I don't think it's as a human. I think he was feeling her and he thought they had a connection and was like, dang, I left the process because I was sick. You ain't even called to check on me. Like I don't think it would have bothered him if it was somebody he didn't think he had a connection with. If it was just somebody else on the show that he was cool with, I don't think he would have cared.
I think it was because she was the only one who he didn't hear from. I'm pretty sure there's other people that weren't connections that at least said
he's the only
good
the only
or texted him. He said she was the only one that he didn't hear from.
Yeah, but that should be telling you then, homegirl ain't feeling you. And so why even bother addressing that if you already know? Because if people if people are feeling you, then they would be involved. But
yeah,
let it ride out.
No response is a response.
Oh, okay, that's probably the best response.
And I didn't realize that he said nobody reached out. I thought he meant like out of the people he had a connection with or he thought he was cool with, she was the only one. I didn't realize that she wasn't. Damn, that's kind of messed up. You're the only person on the whole cast that did. That's kind of telling. Like, wow.
I think I took it as it was his connections. Like, because he was like, because I've been connecting with people even since I've been off or whatever. Like, I've been talking to, you know what I mean?
That's what it was. That's how I took it.
Yeah. So I want to say it was his connections, and he thought that she was one of his connections. And
but what do you think made him think that, though? I mean, how could you think that if somebody ain't checking for you? If they're not checking for you, you should not think those thoughts.
I mean, that part, Paul, that part. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not calling me, if you're not answering my phone calls, if you're not, like, it ain't but so many questions I need to ask. Like, you're letting me know without letting me know. You know what I mean? So, it just made me feel like the reason he called her out the way that, because she was kind of taken back by it. She was like, what? She was like that Kermit the Frog, like meme. Mm-hmm. I just really feel like she was shocked by what he was saying. And I feel like the reason he even brought it up is because he was butthurt, because I think he really, really liked her. He wouldn't have just brought it up out the blue. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Right. The impression I got was that they were vibing. I don't know how deep, because again, what I perceive and what you perceive is different. So I'm not saying I don't know how deep, but I think he felt like they were vibing, whether it was a couple of phone calls, whether it was a couple of texts, I don't know. And then when he got sick and he was no longer in the process, it was like radio silence. That's the impression I got, was that there had been some communication prior to, and then the minute he was no longer in the process, it was like deuces. See you at the reunion.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I don't know. It could be a situation where Mercedes is playing the game too. She like, I'm playing this game. I'm trying to stay in this game. You ain't in this game. You ain't a contender. You ain't giving me no votes. What I got to talk to you
she
for?
kind of said that. I don't know if it was the previews for next week or if she actually said it, because again, it blends in for me. But she actually said, well, you weren't in the process anymore, so I kind of just moved in. So
Facts.
again,
Out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
That's
so again, it implies to me that there was a connection. She said, I moved on. So that tells me that you weren't just somebody that, okay, hey, how you doing? Like, y'all had at least had some conversations. You know what I mean? That was my impression.
Yeah. I think he just was about hurt.
I mean, they'd only known each other, a week at that point. So, I mean, wasn't that deep.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. I mean, move on, get your groove on. You came back, you had your little shorties, had his little dime shorties.
Who are you talking about?
And Andre.
Who was his dime shorties he had, Paul?
No, I'm just joking. No, but he had a couple of connections on his way out the door, and they were saying when he was gone, they were saying, "Oh, it's so." Who was it, Jeffrey? Oh,
they said, "Damn, but I'm gonna get this kiss anyway." It's the same day.
Right.
And Cynthia was feeling him too. Cynthia was feeling him too.
Yes, she was. It was Cynthia. It was Jeffrey. And I didn't really see a connection. I saw them have a conversation. I didn't really see Mercedes and Andre like have like a connection for real. It was just a conversation. Like, and they was like, oh, okay, it was nice talking to you. I just didn't see a connection. That's why I was really shocked. I was like, what? They liked each other? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. All right. So who do you think is getting eliminated on Friday? I want you, the chat is 204 of you watching right now.
Ooh, shout out to 204.
Shout out to you guys. Yes, I have 125 likes. If you have not hit the thumbs up, hit that thumbs up. But
I definitely 200 likes. Can we get to 200 likes? If you came in and you haven't hit that like button, can y'all do that for us, please? Thank you.
Boop, 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 boop. But I want you guys to put in the chat, who do you think, and also comment down below on the replay, who do you think is going home on Friday? First, I want to hear from Paul. I need you to deliver, because people be talking about you on Fridays when I be doing my live reaction watch party. They be like, Paul was right. Paul was right.
Right. So do you want to know who I think, or you want to know who I think or who I know?
Oh,
which one?
No. Who do you know is going to be eliminated this Friday? Since you know, we need to know.
All right. So I'll tell you this. I'll tell you who I think first. All right. So who I think would be Mark Anthony, right? And I understand that he's the ladies' eye candy or whatever. So they want to keep, he's what's the show? 80% women. They would love to keep him there, but he's gone. And then Jonique is gone, right? Jonique's gone. It's already been set up. We know this already. We know that Lyndon is not going anywhere. And how do we know this? We know this because him and Tony haven't had the argument and the confrontation about him kissing Morgan more times than him. So we know that, and that was in a different setting. So we know that that's not happening, right? So there's that. We know that we know that Anthony isn't going anywhere at all. You know, he's got some solid connects there. A couple people riding for him, right? Andre, they didn't bring him back to cut him off. You know,
Right.
I think that they're going to keep him in there to reestablish a connection with Jeffrey, and you know, because Jeffrey's running out of dates, so to speak. So they're
Yeah,
going to
she's in the middle of
probably,
the day with everybody.
yeah, but nobody's really connecting with her. You know, Blue was the last ditch effort, so I think they got Andre back to shore that up to keep the drama alive between Suhan and whatever. We know Blake isn't going anywhere, right? Because they just, if they get rid of Blake, then they have to get rid of Suhan because Suhan really doesn't have any other connections outside of that, right? So then we get to um, Mark Anthony. All of these women turned on him quickly, and we know that, you know, just historically, they throw those names out there and they put them out there on purpose so that you know who's really in danger. Doesn't matter. They don't really have to be, but you know, it is what it is. Now, Mark Anthony has no real connections at all. No one.
Jeffrey.
He had no, but we know that him and Jeffrey aren't going anywhere because those kids. That's a situation for him that, you know, he's not with it, and we know this. So he's pretty much done. There's a wrap for him. And Jonique, unfortunately, because, you know, she's been around and nobody's really latching on to her, you know, she's gonna have to take it for the team. And to be honest with you, Jonique is sweet. She's nice. She has all of the things that, you know, a man would want. He's just not in that environment. So, you know, her person isn't there.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Jonique and Mark Anthony. Final answer. That's what I know.
For fact.
If I tell you for a fact, then I have to be accountable for it. So I'm going to tell you that that's what I know.
Final answer.
That's my final. That's the truth. That's what we will see. We will see that.
Okay. Really be you shaking your head. Who do you think will be?
I'm just laughing at. I'm shaking my head, laughing at Paul. Like I'm just like, I don't know how to argue with that logic. Like I don't know how to argue with that. I mean, I think Marcia needs to go home, but I feel like Marcia needed to go home 2 episodes ago.
I forgot.
I don't know. I mean, I agree with the Jonique not making any real connections.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like neither has Marcia. On the guy side, I don't know. Like again, I can't argue with Paul's logic. He really broke it down based on what we know we see. Like you said, I don't know if I necessarily agree with them bringing Andre back just to eliminate him. I mean, if they bring him back and all the ladies are like, we don't want him here, like I don't know. I mean, we've seen that happen before on other shows where they bring somebody back and they are like the first person eliminated because people have moved on. People have created other connections. But yeah, I guess to the rest of it, I don't know. But yeah, that's all I got.
So, okay, because I want to know. Okay, Tyrone, who do you think will be eliminated on Friday?
First, I got to refute Paul's claims.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
He obviously has not seen my official trailer breakdown video where I actually show a tall guy on the beach, an obviously tall guy on the beach. So obviously, I think Mark Anthony makes it to the beach. Him and Mercedes is tongue kissing in front of everybody. Did you miss that?
I didn't. I got it.
Him and Mark Anthony. I mean, Mark Anthony.
Mark Anthony and Mercedes is tongue kissing in front of everybody.
I got.
I need
had
to. I need to see that.
They had a
I
really
got.
strong
I got.
connection
Oh, dang,
from their very first date.
Yeah, right. Because he's an airplane flyer. An airplane flyer.
Right.
They're the two that match the
That's not.
most.
That's not the beach.
That is the same night. That's the same night. All of
The
them
same.
together.
Wait. The
That's
same night
all
as
tonight. The where they ended in the last episode. That's them.
Yeah. Okay. I'm telling you that. Okay. Good. I'll listen to your logic. Go ahead. Good. I'm still
Plus,
here.
I still feel like I see him and Mercedes's body on the beach. They don't show them together, but I do feel like I see them together on the beach at the end. So
She
I'm gonna
wearing the
stand
black.
by that.
She wearing the black.
I'm gonna stand by that. Yep. They got the strongest, one of the strongest connections. They match the most out of almost anybody. Jonique, I could see it, unfortunately. But I think for the guy, I think it might be Blue.
No. Nope. Not at all.
Why?
Nope.
Who's still voting for Blue?
Jeffrey.
So
now
let
that
me just tell you this. You
okay,
asked
go
the
ahead,
question.
Yep.
You asked the question. So here's what I will say. I wouldn't worry about whose name they don't call. I would be worried about the names that they do call. And his name has never been called at all. Not one time. So he's in a safe zone like Tony.
This will be the sixth guy that's slightly worse than Blake. And Blake ends up staying again.
But see that's I don't think that that is the case here. I think that Mark Anthony is worse off than Blake.
Well, let me ask you
in terms of real connection.
But can I throw a monkey wrench in it? Can I throw a monkey wrench in there?
Of course.
What if whoever is right, but this is the week that they use the save, either the men or the women. Mm-hmm. So theoretically, let's say Mark Anthony does get voted off, but they use the save. Because let's be clear, production gonna make them use that save, even if they ain't really using it. Production gonna make them use that save because they wouldn't bring something like that on for nobody to use it the whole season.
So for that part, so that's what I was going to tell you. For that part, I'm telling you that it's going to be Mark Anthony. I wasn't going to say anything about the save, but you brought it up, and you're absolutely. I feel like you're right about it. Exactly what you said. They were going to use the save on Mark Anthony.
Then why ain't you saying, Paul?
Because if I said that, then I would have to own that, and then I would have to be responsible for other things, and I can't do that.
What?
Nothing.
I think Blue and Jonique gonna get together off screen.
So Blue, I'm telling you, it won't be Blue at all in the mix.
Who is gonna vote for Blue to stay on?
No, it's who's gonna vote against Blue. That's the thing.
I see what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah, because a lot of them, if you think about it, they're gonna be like, well, I don't really talk to Blue. I don't really have a connection with Blue. I don't really, you know what I'm saying?
But you still gotta vote for your connection. And Blue does not have a connection.
He has Jeffrey.
They're gonna ask they're gonna say, who is your strongest connection?
And you know what they're gonna say? Jonique is gonna, because it's the women first, and Jonique is gonna say, well, me and Blue, we kind of connected out there, and blah blah blah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Good. And then Jeffrey's
she gonna get voted off, I think.
And but you got to understand that this is before the men, or this is during this whole situation, because this is a dual thing So Tommy's gonna go to both sides and say, "Who's this? Who's that?" He's gonna do his recon first. He's gonna get the names, and then they're gonna come over, and then he's gonna say, "All right, we're gonna let you have it right here."
I think what you're hearing is it different. They're gonna say, "How did your dates go? Who did you go on a date with?" And then they're gonna say, "I had a good date with Blue." And then they're gonna say, "Who is your top connections?" And then they're gonna say, "All right, I know this is the hard question, but who are you not feeling right now?" And it's gonna be
We're
Blake, Blake,
already
Blake, 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 Blake.
no, we're already there though, Tyrone. We're already there. Listen, we're there right now. We're there at the point because the way that this ended, right? It ended on the to be continued. So it's going to pick up on see you goodbye because two people are leaving today, right now. As soon as
It's
it comes
one
on.
man, one woman, he said.
Yeah, and you gone. So it doesn't really matter. They're going to come from the door. Voila. Blue stand. Mark Anthony's going to go. I'm telling you this. He's going to get voted off.
I don't think that was the question. Or was that the question?
That was the question.
Who's staying? Who is staying? You know
Who
what?
was getting
You did answer
eliminated was the question.
Yeah.
Who is going home, Paul? Home?
He said Jonique and Mark Anthony.
Jonique and Mark Anthony will be the ones that are going to get eliminated.
Right.
But if they use that save, I'm still right.
Yes, technically you are.
Right. And that's the part that's the thing that I'm trying to say. So we're there.
It's crazy because this is probably one of the first episodes where I'm really up in, like, I have no idea. And from the looks of it, when I was reading the comments from you guys in the chat, it was so many different, like, it was crazy. So I personally, honestly, I'm would really be like, I don't really know. I'm kind of confused.
So
usually I know.
How they let a malignant cancer stay on?
Honey, how y'all feel about her? I try not to talk about the next.
That was
episode
harsh. That was really harsh.
Until the next episode, y'all know I don't like to talk about the next episode. But in real life, how did y'all feel about that? She called him cancer.
That was harsh. You know,
yeah,
that man got a family. That man got kids.
Right.
That's harsh.
Yeah. And you know what though? What's even more harsh is not that she said that, but that they aired that too. So it's like kind of, I get it. They want to highlight how disrespectful somebody can be, but at the same time, they aired that. You know, just in that, I thought that was just ignorant for them to even do. You edit a whole lot of stuff, but you can't. And first off, they're calling this a high-end show, right? A high-end dating show amongst blacks or whatever. And you can edit everything else, but you can't edit this stuff to make it high-end. Come on, man.
I need to know the context. I need to know the context first before I give an opinion, because I don't think that's that bad of a statement, depending on what preceded that statement.
Yeah, we need to see some malignant cancer behavior in order for me to say that's okay.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying I need to know what preceded it for her to say that. That's just me. I just need to see. I need to know what was said.
Yeah. I think she was referring to that conversation they had about when he said that the kids was, what was it?
Broken.
If it wasn't a 2-parent household, that's what she was talking about.
Yeah, you can't be mad at that man for his opinion.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and that's fine if that's his opinion, but I can't be mad at her for that being her response.
Yeah. Yeah. That part too.
That's a harsh thing to say, that kids are broken if they don't come from a 2-parent household. That's a hard thing to say you're in a room full of single mothers. That's a
Right,
harsh.
but what if he's speaking from himself? He
Then
came from a
say,
broken
I was a broken.
household.
Then say I was broken
That
because
part.
I came from.
But that
because
wasn't the question.
entitled- Huh?
That wasn't the question. The question was, do you feel the kid is broken? And he said yes. That's how I feel.
And that's fine. He has a right to feel that way, but then I also have a right to have my response. That's I mean,
True.
again, I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying for me, I need to know what preceded it because I don't think that statement is that hard. I mean, y'all are acting like that's the worst thing somebody's ever said on reality TV, and I just don't think it's that bad.
Oh yeah,
No,
I didn't.
So
I just said it was harsh.
Maybe I'm desensitized because I don't think it's that deep. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, there has to be some sort of, I don't know, like when you think about somebody producing this for the world, right? I think that, a lot of liability lies on the cutting floor as well. And you shouldn't, I mean, I get you want to show drama and showcase that stuff, but I think when things get to be a little bit disrespectful or whatever, or can be taken in a disrespectful context, and they know this, probably they should be a little bit more responsible with how we receive that information. And then also too, it, makes her look like, she's, not that great of a person, and we don't really know her like that.
I think
again, I need to know the context. So I'll wait. Next week I may have a different opinion. I might be like, that was messed up, but until I know what he said first,
yeah. Okay.
I have not seen Love and Marriage Huntsville at all. For the record.
Yeah. It did not.
Do me a favor.
Personality she was portraying. Yeah. So, what were you about to say? Really, B? I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna mess with Paul for a second. I'll wait because we wrapping
What's up?
No.
Say washer machine. Say washer.
Washer.
I know people from Pittsburgh and they say wisher.
Wishing. Oh,
wishing machine. Yeah, wishing machine.
Wishing machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they say they say water.
Yeah. The first time a friend of mine had bought a new house. Like they bought a new house and I never noticed it until he said it. He said something about, it can't, it's a brand new washer. And I said, what? I didn't know what he was talking about at first. I was like, a brand new what? And he was like, a brand new washing machine. I said, what? And now every time like it's happened to like 2 or 3 other times now. I met somebody from Pittsburgh and I hear it and I'm like, hey, that must be a Pittsburgh accent because they all say it. Okay, my bad.
Black and yellow.
April Gaines said no, we don't. But listen, the people that I know from Pittsburgh, they be like Wisher.
Wisher dryer.
I never heard of that. I know I say my words funny sometimes.
Well, I mean, people say I have a DC accent, and I really don't think I do. So,
maybe a little bit. I mean, I was there for like 15 years, but
say Baltimore, really, B.
Baltimore.
Boom.
Baltimore. That's it. And if you was from Baltimore, I would tell you to say hot dog or two.
Mm-hmm.
Right, or dog. Yeah, they say Doug.
Hot Doug. They say hot Doug.
Doug.
I lived in Baltimore.
Or dummy. Everything is a dummy in Baltimore. What's up, dummy?
Right.
Shit.
DC, we don't have THs in DC. It's an F. So everything with the TH is an F. So mother, father, brother, it's an F.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. Salmon. I can't.
Not P.O. got a Snoop Dogg accent.
So we standing by that, Paul, Blake, Mark Anthony and Jonique.
Oh, no doubt. 100%. 100%.
I think so I'm gonna say this: if I were betting, then I would bet on the. If I was betting I would bet that the save is being. I don't know who's staying and who's going, but I bet that the save is going to happen this week.
It might.
Whether it's one or the other, I don't think both of them, but I think somebody's using the save.
No doubt. But we know that Mark Anthony will be introduced as being eliminated, as well as Jonique.
No, you know that.
How do we know that?
Know that. You know that.
I feel like I know it. That's all.
Well, I don't know, but he don't get eliminated because he's kissing Mercedes in the next scene. I mean, in the next episode. So on their date. Oh, I wonder if it's a elimination date. But I'm like, but they kiss. He like, I'm gonna still kiss you, even if no one will be eliminated. No,
maybe that could be an elimination date.
No, everyone's still in the room when they kiss.
Nah, but
they at dinner. I got the picture.
Right.
It's right here.
Boom.
They on a date.
This is the. Well, I thought I was ready, but no, you're not ready.
But they kiss though.
Yeah,
like,
because
I'm about to be eliminated. I'm not going to kiss you in the mouth.
Check this out.
Well, you're not kissing nobody.
That part.
So what if? So what if this happened? What if they say, okay, Tommy, all right, take the men out, and then they use it, and they tell him you were, eliminated, and
but we saved you.
We saved you, and he's thanking her by saying,
"Yup,
give me that tongue."
And Morgan know that he about to be eliminated, so she like. She like, I'm about to put it on him. I'm about to make him feel the pain that he made me feel that night because I'm about to eliminate him too. What?
Blake ain't going nowhere. We know this. Because listen, just understand this. If you get rid of Blake, this turns into a regular show.
It really?
Right.
I could live without Blake. I think I would be fine.
But the people can't. That's the thing.
Paul's triggered. Paul is triggered by this whole Blake activity. That's what it is.
Because I already know that he's going to be safe. I know he's going to the end for sure.
Wow.
And yeah.
Paul sees himself in Blake.
He really, I really do think you identify with Blake.
No, I mean, listen. I go off of how they formatted the show. The only person that I was wrong with was Fabrice, and I didn't realize what I was getting with him. But they do this once every time. They bring out the one hitter quitter, in and then out the same night. So I was wrong with Fabrice. But I'm not wrong now. We will be delivered.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Anybody want to give any last comments to wrap up the episode?
I think it was good.
Yeah.
I hope the castmates don't take us personal. It's nothing personal. We just talking. I know we got to put that disclaimer out there.
Yeah.
Every now and then it's starting to get good. Hopefully we do see some love connection. Hopefully we do see some.
I didn't care when I was reviewing the show. I didn't really care with Paul, with Ty, with Sabrina. I spoke on what I saw. I don't think I'm malicious, but I'm going to speak on what I see. And it, you know what I'm saying? So when I say I don't care, I don't mean it in a mean way. I just mean like I can't walk on eggshells on my opinion because that's just all it is. It's one opinion.
Right.
That's it.
So.
That's it. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, you the nice one. So go ahead. Ty. You the nice one. Go ahead.
Nah. I'll just leave it there. I just hope we see some couples. I hope. You know, they do find love either
Exactly.
on screen or off screen. I know the audience asks for a lot, you know what I mean? But sometimes they be expecting perfection, you know, in the first couple
I
of
agree.
weeks. So, you know, cut them a little bit of slack. They are strangers, you know, on TV, dating for your entertainment. So,
Thanks.
you know,
Thanks.
think about that.
Yeah.
True that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think I'm sorry. I was just gonna give my closing. If
go
that's
ahead.
okay.
Let's get the close, and we're gonna have the comment. It's
Oh,
two
okay.
things I wanna.
Okay, yeah.
I'm saving that.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, yeah, this was a good episode. I just wish that we didn't get two cliffhangers in the same season. Like, you know, one is enough, and they got us again back to back, damn near. But yeah, like Tyrone said, you know, in terms of the cast or whatever, I get it. I know it's hard. It's probably hard to watch this stuff, watch us talk about you and the frustration that, you know, you're probably saying because you feel like we don't get it, and we do. I know for me, you know, I've been on that side of the table. So I just say, keep your head up, man. And you know, at the end of the day, you know, I'm not judging you personally. I don't think anybody here is judging you as a person. We're judging you based off of the character in the movie. You know, I didn't like some people in Training Day or whatever. So, you know, but in the real world, they probably somebody else. So, you know, don't hate us when you see us. And you know, if you see me, more than likely I'll probably buy you a drink.
Yeah, that part. That part.
Yeah.
So I did have a question that Nishel asked. This was way back, like an hour ago.
Save
Ty,
that.
would you date Junique?
You saved that.
I did save it.
Oof.
I'm not opposed to dating Jonique. I'm not in a dating mind frame right now, but yeah, I think that is. I wouldn't not date Jonique if that's what you're asking.
Yeah. Yeah, she's the bomb, Dickie. All right, and we are going to give a shout out to one of our loyals, Jay. Today is her
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Happy
happy born.
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And happy belated Valentine's Day, you guys. Thank you so much. We're about to wrap it up. So you guys know at the end, we're going to go around the panel and they are going to extraduce themselves and just let everybody know. I never do me, but you guys know I am Miss Sabrina Soul. I was on Ready to Love DC, and you can find me on all my socials, on all the platforms at Miss Sabrina Soul. And yeah, so we're gonna shoot it over to Tyrone, PO, and then Really B.
What's up, everybody? Tyrone, you can catch me at Ty Wilson 21 everywhere. I did start breaking down the seasons. Breaking down the episodes on my YouTube channel. I didn't get this last episode because I had to attend a funeral last weekend, but I will catch up after this Friday. And I will be sure to highlight Paul being wrong. So
He's gonna take clips from this live. He's gonna
yes, I will. I will find a way to weave this in there.
Right.
PO.
Well, you already know it's PO. 100 sightings on IG. My handle's up there. Yes, I will not be wrong. I will not lose, because even when I lose, I win. Right. I've been delivering since I've been involved in the RTL family. So, you know, why stop this time, right? See you Friday.
Really, and everybody, PO is from Ready to Love, the season, Potomac season.
Right, there you go.
Potomac.
Yeah.
So I have a favor to ask. It's 200 people in this chat. I have a huge favor to ask. I am 138 subscribers away from hitting my 10,000 milestone. If you are not subscribed to my channel, come and check me out. Like, subscribe, watch a couple of videos. If you don't like it, you can unsubscribe, but you won't. So you guys can come and check me out. We're trying to hit that. We're trying to hit that 10,000 in Black History Month. We're trying to in February. We're gonna have a big celebration and all that good stuff. So come and check me out and subscribe, please, and thank you.
Sorry, guys. I had because I pulled up my. All right. So just to let you know, she is almost a few away from 10,000. If you go in the chat right now, I am putting the link to her YouTube channel
Thank you.
So definitely, and then to what I'll do.
Thank you, Jay.
Let me see real quick. Hold on. What I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and pin the message up at the top. So just go over to the chat. It's literally pinned at the top. Make sure if you have not subscribed to her channel, definitely subscribe to her channel. And also too, Tyrone has a channel. If you are not subscribed to Tyrone's channel, because Tyrone, what do you do again? You do a whole bunch of stuff on your YouTube channel, especially with Ready to Love. What is it? We're going to make you explain it again.
Yeah, I break down the trailers. I break down the episodes. I'm working on a hidden gems from the digital exclusives, and then I also do a lot of mental health stuff as well. So if you were to just do a search on Ty, I see someone asked, but Ty Wilson 21 on YouTube, you can find it. But I think it's under my name though, Tyrone, at Tyrone Wilson.
Sorry,
and
guys.
then I may also throw in like a naked cold shower in there or something, but it's for mental health.
Oh, wait a minute, a naked cold shower. No, I'm playing.
Nah, it's not. I'm not naked. I'm not naked.
All right. So that is Tyrone's YouTube. And I have Really Bees pinned, and Tyrone's is in the chat as well. And PO is doing his music, and I know he's working behind the scenes before we even logged on. He's working with Tyrone on some stuff. Do you want to say anything about your music or?
So I'm always in the lab cooking up something. And I'll probably be, or not probably, I will be putting some tracks together for Ty. However he is going to use them, he will. If you trying to make real, music out there in the real world, holler at me with some real money, and we're gonna get some real things happening. Okay.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I see a whole bunch of you subscribing to Really Bees channel.
Thank you too.
Yes, don't forget to subscribe to Ty's channel as well. I have it on the screen, but it's also in the chat as well. And other than that, thank you so much, guys, for joining us tonight. Do not forget to hit that thumbs up button. If you hadn't hit the thumbs up on the way out, we would love this. I would love the support, and we would love for you to support all of us on all of our socials. With mine, if you want to link up with me on Instagram, on Facebook, or anything, if you go in the description box below, all my links are there. You can still shop SabrinaSeoul.com if you are interested in any of my products. And other than that, thank you for joining us tonight. We love you. And also remember that without us, or without you, there is no us. Anyway.